Oi. Alrighty. Hey there YouTube, how's it going? Goon here, coming at you guys again with another YouTube video, a pickup haul video, something along those lines for today's content. It's been a while since I've done my last video. I've actually kind of come into a 9-to-5 job in the midst of the quarantine, which I'm very thankful for. With that in mind though, it's kind of made it more difficult to be putting out more regular YouTube content or video related content because a lot of my time is going there nowadays, but it is lovely to be able to pick up the camera again and make content like this as my hobby, which is something that I love to do. Love making videos for you guys, and because I've had more income, I've obviously had some more pickups that we can kind of see in this pile in the corner of the frame as well. I also apologize for the lighting. While it's pretty in some aspects, it's kind of, weird on me. I feel a little bit shady looking right now. With all that out of the way though, this video is gonna just compile a bunch of stuff that I've came into in this latter half of the year. So I'll just kind of say fall, winter pickups in general. Some of these are definitely made more for the summer though, and some of them are definitely made more for the winter. So it's kind of atemporal in that sense. We'll see as we go through the video. But with that in mind, I'm gonna start at the very bottom of the body with shoes, that kind of thing, and then just move all the way up from there. Compared to some of my more essay related videos that I've done in the past where I get into every specific detail of the garment itself, this is gonna be a little bit more of a run over along with, B-roll of me wearing the clothes, that kind of stuff, to get a sense of what it looks like, that kind of thing, like I typically do, or like, other pickup videos are, and we'll go from there. But some of these pieces are gonna get their own video essays, so keep that in mind. Starting off at the very bottom of the body, however, we've got the shoes, and the first pair of shoes that I wanted to show off to you guys are these right here. These are the Asics UB1S Gel Kayano 14, an absolutely gorgeous looking shoe. These are the first foray of shoes that Kiko Kostadinov is doing, being able to help creative direct for the Asics Sport Style label. This is a very fantastic shoe. The one thing that I was completely taken aback by it, looking at it on the website and looking at all the pre-lookbook photos, was this green. This green is amazing. It's this kind of matcha green, but on their website they call it Piedmont gray. I fell in love with this the moment that I saw them. I've been looking for something that is this more kind of technical dad looking shoe, but specifically something in this sort of natural green color for a long time, and these just hit the mark in more ways than one. This is a pair of shoes that I feel like I can do a full review on, give a little bit of the history as to the Gel Kayano model, as well as Kiko Kostadinov's reign, I guess, at Asics, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, but these shoes are fantastic. They're easily the sort of thing that I could wear in a more technical wardrobe if I want, given the natural green colors and the way that it mixes in with military greens and that kind of stuff, but also the sort of stuff that I could very easily style into more avant-garde silhouettes, letting the pant pile on top of the shoe, that kind of thing. And I'm really excited to see how these wear with time, but then also how they sort of gel with my wardrobe as time goes on. So very excited about these. So yeah, the Kiko Asics Gel Kayano 14 UB1S, some really long esoteric name, but something I'm very excited about. Second pair of shoes I want to bring up, I'm gonna just keep it brief, but these are the drifter splits, the Nike ISPA drifter splits. I did a whole video on these. That's actually probably one of my most successful recent videos, and for good reason, because these things are awesome. I've really gotten a chance to wear these more and more, given their unique quality. But this is another thing that I was talking about. I really wanted that kind of minty green for a shoe in my wardrobe, and this had it with the slight details, but the UB1S really takes it to the next level. These, on the other hand, are very much their own thing. They're very much more in your face, and I love it for that reason. The gray itself is just something that looks so nice with a wide variety of wardrobes, but the black details just kind of anchor it and give it something that can make it relate to the rest of your wardrobe in an easy way. Obvious Japanese inspiration on these with the tabby toe split. I mean, also kind of with Mason Margiela design ethos in mind, that kind of thing. But there's a lot going on with this shoe, and at the very same time, it is just another one of those shoes that I'm really stoked about, with being how versatile it is for me in particular. And I'm really happy to have something like this in my wardrobe. Again, if you want a full rundown on these shoes in particular, I've got a whole 20-minute video going over every specific detail. So check that out if you'd like. There will be a little annotated bubble up there for you. But yeah, the Nike ISPA drifter splits in the, I believe it's the fog gray colorway, or something along those lines. Anyway, moving on. Keeping it with sneakers and also keeping it with shoes that I've done reviews on, the Hoka One Engineered Garments Bondi B. Easily one of the most worn shoes that I have nowadays. I wear these all the time at my 9 to 5 given how comfortable they are, and I love it for that reason. Also being that these shoes are so, low profile while also being very high profile given that they're an all black shoe. These do really work well in the work environment, so I'm stoked about these. All the little details that make these things feel a little bit retro, being the tribal detailing and how chunky the sole is to kind of give it that 2000s vibe, but also just throwing around that idea of like Japanese eccentricness with the Engineered Garments collaboration is awesome. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy. The more that I've got to wear these, the more that I've learned to love them because of how much goes on with them, but how simple they are at the same time. They turn heads while doing almost nothing, so that's the real fun part about them. If you want more details on these, did a whole video on them. I'm gonna keep it brief, but the Hoka One Engineered Garments Bondi B in the all black colorway. Finally, something new, however, something that I just got in the mail. I've got a pair of vintage Western boots with a Cuban heel, or just, a pair of Cuban boots. I don't know what exactly provoked me to jump at the idea of a pair of Western boots like these, but the fact of the matter is that I've known about them for a long time given the sort of seminal nature of Raf Simons' Calvin Klein 205 line and how that really threw more Western styling back into the limelight, but also just kind of being somebody who lives on the verge of more country areas and lives in California at that. This has always kind of been a shoe that I've been familiar with. With that in mind, I think that's probably why I veered away from it. But as of recently, I've been looking for something that has a little bit more of a heel to it. I have my really, really high-heeled Random Identities boots, and I have other more typical sort of combat boots that have a less of a heel, but this has a solid 1.5 inch heel, and it was something that I think could have been added to my wardrobe to just give that little bit of flair, and I'm really happy with the result. I found these about 2.5 weeks ago on Grailed, and they really stuck out to me for their really elegant detailing and the rubber sole, as we can see right here, that makes them a little bit more ground bound, I should say. They have good tread, if anything. But on top of that, the price point for these is pretty unbeatable. They're a vintage pair of boots. There's no branding on them whatsoever, and they still have a nice kind of elegant detail to them. These don't seem like they're any fast fashion brand in particular, and it seems like they have a lot of life left in them one way or another. When I got them, they seemed pretty much brand new in a certain way, but also old at the same time. So that kind of put my heart to rest when it came to like a vintage boot in that sense. I feel like I got a good deal on these one way or another. That being said, these are 9.5. That's what it says on the inside of the calf, at least. Being a 9.5 and me being a 9, these are just a hair large on me, but in a weird way. Being that these are a Western boot and they have this really kind of narrow toe to them, my foot feels fine up in here, but my heel feels really loose, and the way that that rattles my foot around can be a little bit annoying. But the only thing that I've learned is that just don't wear these for an 8-hour day. If you're going out for an evening, or you're not going out for an extended period of time, these boots will still be fine one way or another. But long periods of time, that's when these might get uncomfortable, and I kind of learned the hard way. But yeah, really great pair of boots. They have this sort of embroidered detail up here at the toe, really gorgeous silhouette in which it comes to a point. I think that these are really fun to style with more Western inspired outfits, and we'll see some pieces that might look good with this, but also not just Western inspired stuff, vintage stuff as well looks really good with this. Much more minimal, more toned down things, just like white t-shirts and more wide cut pants look great with these kind of boot. And I'm really excited to see how these also gel with my wardrobe more and more as I wear them and as my wardrobe tends to evolve. Oops, I was just thinking about things that, I've put in the video so far, and I completely forgot about these, but these are easily one of the best things that I got in terms of pickups in this latter half of the year. Rick Owens combat boots. These things are crazy. These things are awesome. I'm so excited about these. I was perusing Mercari like I like to do every 1 to 2 weeks, just to see if I could find steals with some of the brands that I really thirst after. I don't go on it a ton. I have some friends whose entire wardrobe is comprised of Mercari and buy.jp pickups, that kind of stuff, and I really respect the hustle because those sites have fantastic steals, specifically with a lot of the more Japanese designers, obviously, because their stuff is more prolific in Japan. Of course they would be. But when I was going through Mercari myself, I looked up Rick Owens combat boots. This is one of the first things that popped up, and these were way under retail. I don't know what these things went for originally, but these being mainline Rick Owens combat boots, probably like scraping $800 to like $1,000, and I paid a fraction of that, and they were pretty much brand new. Sticker was still on the bottom of the tread. There was not any like signs of wear from what I could tell. Pretty insane. And I got them. I didn't have to deal with any of the, typical coronavirus shenanigans that international shipping deals with. These were shipped out via DHL. They got here super quick, and I'm extremely excited about these. They're pretty much a Doc Marten in terms of look and cut. They have this white stitching instead of yellow stitching. They have a relatively bulbous toe to them to kind of give that really authoritative look. The height is the unique part of them in general. There is a Doc Marten model, I can't think of it off the top of my head, I'll leave a little photo right here, that has this similar height, but I think these go a little bit higher, and these also have more eyelets so that the laces are a little bit more pronounced, so that's a little unique detail. The one big Rick Owens detail is the fact that it's got this zipper that goes up along the inside portion of the boot, which just makes it so much easier to get on. It's the thing that I love the most about them in the first place. Pretty sick. And then the bottom, this treaded sole, is just a very typical black tread sole, and that's also something that I love. I love leather boots, don't get me wrong, but having like a nice high quality like rubber treaded sole just makes them so much easier to wear in a wide variety of circumstances and feel like you're not just wearing away the shoe in this unflattering way. So I'm glad that these have that sole. These are a size 42, hair big on me, but really not that big at all. The toe itself is where I feel the bigness, just because you can see how big that thing is. It's a really bulbous looking toe. So they're relatively large, but the quality is phenomenal. The overall like sizing, that sort of stuff works really well, and they have a really unique spot in my wardrobe. So I'm super excited about these shoes. The Rick Owens blistered leather combat boot. Gorgeous finish. Gorgeous, unique suede kind of detail. Killer boot. Moving up from shoes, we're gonna get into pants, and the first pair of pants that I wanted to talk to you guys about was these P32s that I have right here from Acronym. Now you'll see a little bit better exemplification of these in the B-roll, that kind of thing, but my goodness, these have easily become my favorite pair of Acronym pants. What makes these so special is that they have a really sort of unique cut that Acronym likes to imbue into their stuff, mainly being the really roomy thigh that has an extreme taper down to the cuff, that kind of thing, and that just makes it look awesome on the body. But on top of looking awesome on the body, I mean, the dry skin material that these are made out of just make it insanely comfortable, and I can't speak more highly of dry skin in general. It's easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite materials to wear flat out, jacket, pants, anything in between. And I cannot speak more highly of it because of how rugged it is, but also how elegant and how fantastic it feels at the same time. This is the sort of thing that you can throw in the washing machine and feel happy about throwing in there, but also the sort of thing that you know is going to be able to be worn in a wide variety of scenarios and still hold up. The silhouette on these is phenomenal as is, but the actual way in which they're sized is kind of odd. It's the sort of nature of something that has a really wide thigh that has a super hard taper. These require a belt, so that's the best way that I could put it, and you have to kind of size for the inseam more than anything. This is one of those things, just like the gel Kayanos, that I want to make an entire video on just for the piece itself, so stay tuned. That's probably going to be my next video after this, or the gel Kayanos, we'll see which one. But the Acronym P32s are nothing to be messed with. Trying to keep it PC there. Expect a full video about all the quirks, details, and the way that they really fit on the body in the near future. But moving on from that, got more pants. So the second pair of pants that I've got right here are ones that I'm actually insanely happy about, but things that, well, not things. These are just a pair of pants that I just straight up didn't ask for. What we've got right here are the Sasquatchfabrix Taco Karakusa Flare Easy Pant in a size small. Yeah, these are a happy accident to say the least. You'll see in the B-roll how these fit on body and why I'm so genuinely happy about them, but these are a pant that I actually didn't order. When we get up to the uppers, we'll see the other piece that I had actually wanted that I will then get in depth with, but I bought a pair of pants that were the exact same pattern as that, and these are what actually came. It was a screw up on Bodega's part. I bought these from Bodega, the boutique that operates in Massachusetts, Boston, and LA. Really cool storefront, but I don't know what's going on with their shipping right now. It's weird circumstances and weird times for this stuff, so I'll give it a pass, but I got these instead. This is what they sent me on accident, and I'm happy about it, but yeah, it isn't exactly what I asked for. You'll see how they flow and kind of look and twinkle in the B-roll, but these pants, from my understanding, have been made using a very specific type of dye treatment that is unique to a specific prefecture in Japan. They had that information up on their website, and a couple of other websites that carry these pants have said it as well. Apparently, the dye treatment is requiring of very specific conditions, requires very specific time of year, water quality, that kind of thing to be able to create it. And what you get is this really gorgeous brown black finish that just looks like an alternative shade of black, if anything, and I'm all for it. It's something so unique and so gorgeous. And the best part about it too is that they look like they work with black, and they just, you know, look black itself, but it's very much an alternative black. And what that does is that if you have an all black fit going on, these pants do such a good job at kind of creating different black textures on the body to really make the fit look a lot better overall, because, you know, you're just getting more textural variation, and that's fantastic. It's got a really tight cinched in waist up here at the top with individual pleats that kind of give it a little bit more of a, you know, movement, that kind of thing. Got a drawstring belt with golden aglets here at the bottom. Super, super wide legs, as you can see here, but all that does is just elevate this really elegant looking Western pattern that is on the thigh itself. Super excited to see how I wear these. I'll probably wear them with those Western boots that I just showed off earlier. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But these are the Sasquatchfabrix Taco Karakusa Easy Flare Pants. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Finally, when it comes to the pants, we've got one more that are also a happy accident, but something that I'm very stoked about nonetheless. If you are really in depth with like kind of tech communities and the whole DIY scene, you might know this brand in particular, but these are the Tiredlab patch pants in this unique format. If you are familiar with Wally G, Wally is a legend, an OG. He is a dude who has made tons and tons of stuff with his Tiredlab label, but with that in mind though, I didn't place an order for these, and I didn't actually get these of my own volition, but that's not totally true. I did buy these of my own volition, but I got them off of a friend who actually bought these, and they didn't quite fit him between when he ordered them and when he actually received them. He bought them as a size 30. He got them in the mail. He tried to put them on, couldn't get the button done, pissed about it, that kind of stuff. He showed me a photo of them coming in the mail. I was like, oh my God, you actually got those. I really loved the pant overall because of all the patch detailing that you can see here. I went over to his place to try them on, and they fit me perfectly, like perfectly. The inseam, the waist, I don't need a belt. They fit absolutely perfect, and I'm so stoked that I got the opportunity to do it. I took it off of his hands for what he paid for, and I'm super happy to have these in the wardrobe. As you can see, they are a wide cut, but kind of straight cut at the same time, black pair of pants with an extreme crop. I believe these are about a 25-inch inseam or something along those lines. And for reference, when I wear like a pair of Levi's or something along those lines, I usually do about a 30-inch inseam, and that ends right at my ankle cuff thing right above my shoe. So these have a massive crop on them, if anything, and that just is the design that he went with, and it really creates something unique that I am very excited to have. The first thing that you're going to notice as well is just all these unique patches that Wally put onto the pants themselves. You've got patches of stripe patterns, of just normal kind of herringbone patterns, you've got velvet, you've got cloth, that kind of thing, but then what makes it specifically pretty cool is that each individual pocket, or, well, I kind of gave it away there, but each individual patch is a pocket in and of itself. So you've got at least, I think, 8 pockets per thigh on these bad boys, and it is something special. Not only do they make your legs a little bit warmer in those spots, but you get the sort of convenience of a pocket on all those different parts of the thigh. Some are really reminiscent of the Acronym foam pockets, and I'm here for it. I use them like that, and I love it for that reason. The cut is super unique. I have absolutely nothing like it, so I'm happy to have something in my wardrobe that has this kind of look, and the patches themselves give this kind of eclectic nature that you can style with not only more, you know, Japanese inspired things that have a sort of hodgepodge nature to them, but you can style it up with more technical garments as well, that kind of thing, and it's really interesting in which these pants kind of fit into the ecosystem. It's something that is incredibly versatile, but also looks incredibly statement and very specific at the same time. His entire label does a really good job of kind of towing that line. So these are the Tiredlab Patchwork pants, something I'm really excited about. But yeah, really great pants. Oh yeah, final detail. They also have this really gorgeous gusset that is on the inside thigh to really kind of give it that straight, slightly more flared kind of quality to them, but mainly straight. It's pretty much a straight cut. So yeah, Tiredlab TV Patchwork pants.